Yo, what's up guys, this is Zync. Today we're going to be reviewing my fights in creative 1v1s. We're going to be looking at some of my creative moves that I made myself. These are moves that I've never seen anyone do, even the pros. The beginning of the video will be less advanced, but still quite advanced if you're not fully, a fully good, really good fighter. You will want to watch the beginning, but if not, skip to the end. I will put a time mark down in the description of when the more advanced moves start. So this is one example of a really useful move. If your opponent's just trying to piece control you, you can just really squeeze yourself out of the box. A lot of tips and tricks people like Ken Beans and Javan and it's Jerry and I've talked about this, but I think if you don't know this move yet, this will genuinely save your life. So I get the shot, 122. I thought he was gonna go out the right, but he didn't. And he got the wall, right? You see this lock symbol? When any building piece says the lock symbol, it means that someone's editing it. So I know that he's about to edit it, and I see his map out. So I push myself out of this box. I place a floor and a wall really quickly. You have to look really sharp down or really sharp up if you want to place that wall. So I place the wall, I get the peanut butter edit, cone on top, dead. So here are some of the creative moves that I was talking about earlier. So I'm building up, triple edit. I reset the cone because I saw his head peeking out. I thought I could get a shot, but he ducks down in time, so I didn't get the shot. Got the cone because I thought he would still be under there, but I missed the cone. And here I edited this tile, so I get a really, really, really tight right hand peek. He could barely even see me. Even if it was just 30, I knew that I cracked him, so he would be one shot to a base damage prime shot, and I just pre-fired him and went for the floor. So here I block off my opponent's top as he's trying to crank up, right? Then double edit down. I predict where he's gonna go, judging by my visual audio. Then I also judge by my visual audio where he's gonna go. Pre-box him out the back. I missed my shot because I haven't warmed up. Didn't miss the second shot. I coned off his floor because I know that was his. He could have edited on me. And this, honestly, I was just playing around with him. The reason I decided to review my fights with this guy is because he's a little bit above average. I was trying to phase in through there just now, but I failed. It was a little bit above average. He kind of knew how to play, but not really. And I just hit a disgusting shot over there. Got that nice triple edit because I realized he didn't have a cone. And the reason I didn't place a cone is because if I place a cone, it would block him. And even if I edited, I would still not be able to see him. But by placing the ramp instead of a cone, I could get a shot off right there. Now here I mantle up, he already edited, and I just swerve to the left to block his shot. And I stick very close to the wall. If you notice when I mantle here, I stick very close to the wall. So he can't shoot me unless he exposes himself. Okay, so there's one move that I do see pros do a lot. They'll edit an open edit and then quickly reset it so their opponent tries to pre-fire, and you can shoot it back and replace the wall like that. Then I predict where he's gonna go, get the full box, dead. Pretty good clip right there. So here's another really useful thing that pros use, specifically G-Money I know that uses this. So I get the cone on top of the player. Try to get the pre-box, but he doesn't go out in that direction. And I track him with my visual sound effects. I see the visual sound effects going there, so I follow that. Now at this point, I see there's either two directions he can go. One is over here, in front of the cone that I'm looking at. Other way is the right. At least those are the most typical places that players would go to, so those are where I predict. I mess up my prediction, but I see that he was cranking up here, so I edit my cone into a ramp. I sprint up to get the cone, get the pre-box, and I missed the pre-box, but still, that's a really useful thing when you track your opponents. If you don't already, you should practice always tracking your opponents and make sure you know where they are in the fight. It also heavily decreases your chance of getting snuck up on because you always know where they are. Here's another example of tracking your opponent, and something that's also useful that I also showed in our previous example of tracking your opponent is singling out your opponent's exit routes. So here I get the pre-box. I was too late to try and get the pre-fire, but what you see here, I know that there's only two exit routes. The one in front of me and the one to my left. So I place cones and floors on both. Place cones and floors on both, then I see he's coming out on the left, so I pre-box like that. So this is one of the creative moves I was talking about. So I get the cone, right? I see he's phasing through the floor. You can see the floor is yellow right here. So I know he's phasing through the floor, and I can see a little bit of his map right here, right? So I added the cone to phase him up. So I reset the cone. Then he's on top. So I re-edit the cone again, because I thought he was ready with his shotgun out, but he wasn't. Then I reset the cone again. And get a nice shot. And just get the kill. So this is probably my favorite of my creative moves in this video. So I see this opponent's dropping down, right? So I edit a wall, get a cone, get a shot. I missed my shot though. Oh wait, no, I did hit my shot. Hold the wall. Get a peanut butter edit, I missed the shot. Reload, so I have bullets to shoot. And I get another peak shot behind a peanut butter. And right here, I edit the cone. He's on top of the cone, but he's behind, right? So I reset, and I edit again, but he walked forward. He walked forward, right? So now, he faces up the cone again. So what I do is I edit and I reset and edit the cone again, but because he's on top, he's on the upper part of the ramp. When the ramp flips, he's still on the upper part of the ramp. So he's on the upper part, I can see him, he doesn't expect it, and he gets so confused. Anyway, that was all for the video for today. I hope you guys enjoyed. Catch you in the next one. Peace.